book that Olivia Rodrigo says she owes the success of her Sour album to. It's called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. And we'll also be giving you some other recommendations that need to be on your radar. Welcome to Bookmarked, where we find and review some of the best books about life. Another topic that the book tackles really well is the fear of getting creative. Yes, so Big Magic is written by the Liz Gilbert, who wrote multi-million bestseller Book of a Generation, Eat, Pray, Love. So straight off the bat, we can expect big things. It's basically about learning to harness your creativity and live a creative life, but if I could sum it up in one sentence, I would say it just makes you want to get up and do things. So Pop Sugar said that after reading this, I dare you not to be inspired, to be brave, to be free, and to be curious, and honestly, I just agree. Alright, let's go and dig into the book that Olivia Rodrigo owes her first Grammy to. Now, part 1 is called Courage, and in it Elizabeth explores what creativity really means. She basically suggests that anything that brings your heart joy and involves bringing an idea into the world is creative living. And this can be as simple as painting a chest of drawers in your house to writing a whole novel. She even talks about a friend of hers who started ice skating as an adult after a lifelong dream of doing it, and she says that this is one of the very best examples of living creatively. And something that she touches on throughout the book but really focuses on in this section is that you don't need to be the best at it, whatever it is for you. You don't even need other people to think you're good. Pretty much everything in life is subjective, so if you enjoy it and you like what you've created, be it a song, a dance, or a piece of art, then it is good and it is art. She says that in a world that can be pretty judgmental, making anything and putting it out there into the world is pretty brave. To summarise, to live creatively, you don't need to move to Greece and live in a hut by the sea to paint the ocean, or you don't need to move to Paris to write the next best-selling romance novel. You just need to create. Or as Taylor Swift says, never let anyone or anything stop you from making things. Just make them. Okay, if you're liking the sound of this book so far, you need to listen to Florence Given's podcast Exactly. It's described as your permission slip to follow your curiosity, be empowered, be educated, and feel the joy of life. It's made up of interviews with authors, artists, psychologists, and celebrity guests. And just like Elizabeth Gilbert, Florence Given really does not beat around the bush. She's also just announced a book which will be out later this year, but is definitely one to keep an eye on. So far all we know is that it's called Living Deliciously. And Florence says that it aims to awaken your senses of awe, playfulness, and wonder, and that it will guide you through how she's learned to reclaim and embody joy with intention. So it looks like it will deal with a lot of the same things as Big Magic, learning to find joy and creativity in the little things and learning to live unashamedly. Okay, and another one that needs to be on your radar is the How to Fail podcast by Elizabeth Day. It basically celebrates the things in life that haven't gone right, but mainly teaches us how we can learn from them. Every week a new guest has to talk Elizabeth through 3 of their failures and what they learned. Also, it's super funny and it will definitely make you feel better about your mistakes. Okay, the next section that I want to talk about is called Enchantment, and it's where Elizabeth talks about where ideas come from and how we get them. But you have to hear me out with this one because her theory is amazing and it's changed the way that I think about ideas and motivation forever. She basically believes that ideas choose to try and come into our lives, and we can let them in and work on them and try and bring them to life. And then if the ideas feel that we are committed, they will stick around. But if we're not that bothered and we kind of push them to the back of our mind for months, maybe because of work or stress or just laziness, then they'll simply go and find someone else to bring them to life. One of the main reasons that people don't pursue their hobbies is because they are afraid of how they or their creations will be perceived. To combat this fear, Elizabeth says that you need to be creative in a serious and not serious manner. It makes sense, I swear. Basically, you should be serious about creating, so be a bit strict with yourself and make sure that you put time aside for it. And create even when you don't feel like it, because she believes that the more ideas that you see through to the end, the more ideas will be attracted to you as a vessel to bring them to life. But you also have to be not serious, and by this she means just don't take yourself too seriously. It's never really life or death, and who cares if you get a bad review or bad feedback as long as you are happy with what you've created. And if you can learn to laugh about your so-called failures along the way, then that is even better. So this book isn't just for the writers and the painters and the sculptors of the world, it's for anyone with any kind of idea. And for anyone who feels like they are in a bit of a rut in their life and that they need some motivation to live life a bit more joyfully. Let me know, what book should we do next? Make sure to join us for the next episode of Bookmarked.